Innovation can only go as fast as the speed of trust. So as you will see, my belief is build it in, don't bolt it on. And this cafe actually is an example because everything is crafted, everything is built into the foundation.
Task consumes. I feel like there are three adjectives that I use to describe what leaders should be doing today, and they're all non-technical. The best leaders that I see in my day job, I have the pleasure of traveling all over the world. I meet a lot of leaders around the world. They're leading first with empathy. I frequently tell my kids, I have two teenage daughters, nobody cares how much you know until they know how much you care. And so the best leaders bring that kind of ethos into the workplace, so they operate with empathy. Two, they operate with creativity. So they're not constrained by, what their peers are saying or what they read in the headlines, or they don't have to pattern match. They really just come into the place of work and say, what can I do to be the best version of me and to make others around me the best versions of themselves? So it's okay, right now more than ever, to color outside the lines. Because you know what? We're all going through this experiment together. Nobody has the answers. The only ones that you shouldn't trust are the ones who say that they have all the answers, because they don't. Empathy, creativity, and then the last important trait, I feel like, is humility.
While other companies are, indexed on the performance aspect of AI, IBM does think about, trust and putting that front and center. And a lot of IBM clients, prefer working with IBM primarily because it takes a very refined approach to AI and making AI a scalable technology rather than something that a specific department just wants to do a pilot. So it works with CIOs, CTOs, and they put a premium on compliance. And to Deepali's point, a car can only go as fast as the brakes would apply. So compliance is not holding the organization back. In fact, it's allowing you to race ahead of the competition. So I think it's really important, and that's why I really like what this particular forum is about and what Deepali is doing. And I also resonate with what Dan just spoke about. I also have a podcast. It's called the AI People, and it's an opportunity for me to connect with the ecosystem, not just constrained by
distribution. So every response you're getting is usually the me, somewhere closer to the me.
Yeah.
But here's the difference. The innovation happens in the outlier side. It does not happen in the me. You will not get Steve Jobs going up the podium and saying that I created a touch screen because the stylus is not useful. The world's best stylus is your finger. To get that level of thinking, AI will not do that. You go to a boardroom and there's a chief strategy officer telling you, let's go for, imagine in the 2007, if somebody goes and tells Apple, using the AI, saying we should go for touchscreen, the AI will say you're dumb, because that's not what others are doing.
Exactly.
Because it will give you a mean response. It will say this outlier doesn't work.
Is the product ultimately, right? That's why we focus on compliance and adhering to regulatory things. There's financial implications for sure, right? There's huge financial impacts. That said, doing it right from the jump, I feel is super important, especially working on the government side and developing AI platforms in defense. Like that compliance and regulatory space, especially when you get into the security levels and things like that, become extremely important. And I will die on the hill that, like, if you do it early, you're saving yourself a ton of pain later on. So that's a little bit of my background, and that's why I'm here. I'm really interested in these conversations and understanding where different people within the industry and in different fields are applying some of these concepts, what their lessons learned are, what the hurdles are, things like that. In terms of regulation, I kind of sit on the fence a little bit. I believe that we need some, and that we should be very aware of what the potential outcomes are.
The irony of this thing is that the CFO I was speaking to a CFO 2 days ago, last Thursday. He told me everything about, the technology is good, but we need to guard all the information and this and that. And then I asked him basically, so he showed me an awesome report he kind of created, this is the mid-market CFO. I'm like, how did you do this? He said, I just put information into ChatGPT.
Yeah, exactly, right?
I'm like, that's how you build this thing, and you are the one who's, so anyways, I didn't take it far, but I just wanted to kind of tell you what exactly was happening. Every employee is going to ChatGPT.
Yeah.
Just because you have a license doesn't mean that your information is not leaking into the It's not protected. It's fully, you don't even know what's going to happen in the next 10 years with your information, frankly. The Pandora box will open up, and then things will come out which you never thought was possible. So, because this is, again, just like Facebook, Instagram, we are the product. You guys are the product. So we are the products, and same thing with AI. It's what they can do with it, with the information they get is crazy. So everybody is going in and going to ChatGPT, getting stuff out, getting the answers out, and everybody who says they're not getting it are lying.
VCs, yes, we can push down and say, hey, we'll invest only if your company is up to certain standards. And again, my VC firm, we are still a smaller firm, right? Early check sizes. As they go later stage, Series A, B, C, bigger checks start coming in. Those VCs also need to be asking those questions. It's not enough for us to just do it. Although I would argue we need to set the standards going early on, because as we all can nod here, unit tests written early would save a lot of grief later.
Absolutely.
Same with compliance.
Right. Yep.
You talk about cybersecurity and medical devices. You do not, and we more than anyone is very, very about devices, because imagine your implant in the brain being hacked by someone, and then what happens? And then imagine, forget brain. Actually, you know what? Let's not make it so scary. Tell you what, there is an implant that can help you manage your diabetes. We're looking at such a company, right? Manage, meaning it not treat your diabetes, but it will reduce
Insulin
your
pump or something.
No, nothing. I'm sorry, I should have. It basically, in your diabetes journey, some advanced stages, you start losing your nerve health, right? Neuropathy. And so that's a device that is trying to stop that from happening. You still have to manage your diabetes, you still have to do your exercise and so forth.
Intelligence came up, especially during COVID times when people were sitting at home. A lot of them, Alexa, and everyone is observing us. What we are doing, what we do, what are of them, what we talk. Because in my talk sometimes, when I was talking in my office meeting, suddenly Alexa woke up. Then it started talking. Then I had to shut down the Alexa because it's listening. So this is the situations.
Right.
So knowingly, unknowingly. Yeah. So it's difficult to tell. Does it completely steal our data? It's difficult to tell. Then if you go and justify saying that, this is the transaction ID, we take the PII information, the personal identification, we don't associate. We take a unique ID. That ID's pattern we are going to study. So people can come out with all the things.
Yeah.
The biggest thing is, yes, governance is a concern. So whose governance? Is it the people governance, or the governance of the corporations, enterprise, their own company, or the governance of their operations, governance of the manufacturer, governance of the... So now this is the biggest question we have. But nobody will solve the problem because everyone wants to make more profitability.
The same thing happened in the medical device industry. There was very little governance before, and now there's more and more regulation because of issues that happen to patients, or to anything adverse happens, then the governance will come. But it's
always an afterthought, right?
Yeah.
We made something wrong.
Proactively, no one's going to say, let me invest a lot of money in governing myself and reducing risk and stuff like that. I think it's not against the business model. You want to move fast and not have restrictions.
Please introduce yourself.
I was going to say,
So I come in from the medical device space, not really in AI, but I have a lot of experience transitioning softwares and convincing people to adopt new ways of doing things.
And like I said, we emphasize start early. So we have a security foundations package, and it is for early startup companies, early stage startups. Because like Mike was saying, if you build it right from the beginning, you're all set. So when you come to the point, so you're not scrambling at the end like, oh no, I didn't think about governance. Now what should I do? So we actually help with that security foundation